Thank you for watching the S&B Forex and Futures Weekly Trade Review. My name is Marc Principato. So in today's segment, we're going to be looking at the S&P Futures and CFD chart, and we're going to be looking at how we can use our volume analysis tool to take trades outside of using patterns. Today, we're going to be looking at the S&P Futures and CFD chart, and we're going to look at how we can use our volume analysis tool to take trades without having a pattern in place. Now, for those of you who know, our methodology relies on pattern recognition, but our volume analysis tool allows us to take more active type trades like scalps. And this is going to be an example of how that works. So, before I begin this video of a trade here, I want to explain a couple of things. We have the net reversal on our volume analysis tool. This volume analysis, of course, is looking at the S&P futures. Now, when we have a net reversal in place, represented by this 200% change in market delta, that creates our value area, which is defined by this rectangle right here. All right. When we have a value area, we're looking for two particular types of setups on our volume tool, and that is the value area retest and the value area recovery, either one or the other. Now, you can see on the chart here, this is the CFD chart. We're not actually tracking the volume of the CFD. We're using the futures market as a proxy, and we use this same setup for currency trading as well. Now, in this chart here, you can see a trade was initiated on this candle. Now, there really is no particular pattern on this candle. You can make an argument for a trick on a smaller time frame, sure, that's one of our proprietary patterns, but this is a 30-minute chart. There is no clear-cut pattern here. What we do have, though, is a retest of the 618 retracement of this previous swing. So that makes this area here a point of interest. Now, based on that point of interest, we can look at our volume analysis tool and say, what's happening around that point of interest? And now we'll show you what the tool showed us. So you can see here, once the market starts ticking, this is a trade that was initiated, okay? Contracts were already put on here in the futures market. You could see this was taken right after the retest. So they were initiated in here somewhere, all right? The retest was here. So the volume analysis tool is not going to get you in at the bottom of the movement. The market already has to be on its way back up. Remember, we're capturing momentum here, so it doesn't guarantee the best prices. Now look at this here. As the market unfolds, all right, it hangs around for a little while and it's holding. The stop, by the way, is placed below the value area. So that allows us to have very tight stops, like maybe 8 ticks, no more than 10 ticks usually. And in this case, since that trade was initiated around in here somewhere, the market has been working its way up. So at this point, there's no reason to sell just yet. All right, as the market works its way up, we can actually find targets based on this smaller time frame volume analysis. Most notably, these little cluster areas here can present good places to take trades off if it hesitates up there. But again, when you're talking about scalping, you're talking about very, very active thinking as well as trading. So you have to constantly question the market. In this case, look, the market's still hanging around up in here, so the trade is doing fine. The stop, as you can see, is way back here, and it's at this point, nicely in our favor. Let's continue to watch. So you could see, as this was unfolding, there was actually another net reversal inside of this area here. All right? So there were two net reversals back to back. That's actually a really good sign and can even allow you to add to your position as the market is unfolding in your favor. Now, of course, in this example, that is what is happening. It's unfolding in our favor. You do not want to do that when the market is working against you. All right? So you could see here the outcome of this trade. There was a 43 pip target and a 73 pip target that was eventually taken on these trades that were initiated off of those levels. So that's pretty much how we use our volume analysis tool to scalp the market without using any particular patterns to initiate the trade as well. So it's not full validation. You can call it a partial validation. That's why when you're using the volume analysis tool alone to take a trade, it's usually just for a scalp, not expecting much more than 10, 20 pips, 30 pips. Occasionally you get some that run, but that's a little bit more advanced. It takes a little bit more time to have the confidence to let them run. But typically you don't have high expectations when you're trading off the volume analysis tool alone. So that's my presentation today on using the volume analysis to take a more active type of trade. We cover this stuff in great detail in our training programs. I hope you found this useful. Again, my name is Marc Principato. Thank you for joining me for the SMB Forex and Futures Weekly Trade Review, and I will see you next week.